I don't want to speak a lot because I want to give a chance to everyone to comment. I just wanted to historicize this conference. It began with a conversation between Scott and Dina and I about the idea of actually with a puzzle. How comes the Jews were in the frontier and contributors to different conceptualization of human rights or of rights language, either collective rights or individual rights, and what happens to it when we move to Israel and we see either the state of Israel as major resistant to rights language or to human rights, or different groups within Israel that are resisting human rights on various levels. So we thought it's an interesting puzzle to take on, but I also had a different agenda, which was I was constantly drawn to two different communities: the communities of historians and legal historians and the history of human rights, and the community of activists, of feminists, of contemporary sociologists in Israel dealing with these issues. And I felt there is a growing gap between these two groups. There is no bridge that bring them together to reflect on what can we learn from each other. Are there similarities? What is the... we really, I really struggled to push into what made Sam confused and what made clarity for Ben, which is to add these today's contemporary panels, which I found really fascinating and complicated the issues. So I think this is a worthwhile endeavor, and I think it's really only a beginning of a conversation and a research that has not been done in Israel. And particularly interesting for me was the position of Palestinians in this story, because it struck me first that a lot of the dilemmas the Jews were facing abroad were now the dilemmas of Palestinians. And it was interesting for me to see how Palestinians, I have a long ongoing conversation with Hassan about individual rights, collective rights, to put the nation in, to put it outside. And it struck me that we need to connect these conversations and to bring it onto the table. So for me, it was very interesting 2 days, and I would be very happy to hear your reflections on it.
Okay.